Okay, 2000, yeah, 2000, this is a BMW 318 uh, 2000 model year. All I've been told is check engine light comes on, and I'll start by, if it is true, I'm going to run the engine. If it's true, I should be able to read some port codes. I've already plugged this guy in. Runs fine. Check engine light is on. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's over there. Check engine light stays on. So yes, we are on to something here. Also, the low fuel warning lamp is on. I don't troubleshoot that. That's for the customer. I'm just hoping, I'm praying I have enough fuel to allow me to do the test I want to do. Check engine light has gone off, and the idle, immediately the idle started hunting. I saw the check engine light go out. Remember, it was there a minute ago. It's now not showing, and I can hear either the sounds like a misfire, but you can see the commenter is showing the idle is kind of hunting. I'm hoping you can see that. There is no codes. I'm using OBD2 software, which is surprising given that the check engine light was on. So I don't know if it is worth going to check the codes right now, because said there were no codes, but clearly once in a while I feel it misfire badly. Like right now, I'm hoping you can see my, you see the cable and the scan tool dancing a bit. That's not me, that's the vehicle. That's a misfire, it is that bad. See, it's really bad now. If you see any dancing, any relative movement between my leg and the scan tool or the wire, that's because the engine is misfiring. It is that bad. So it says no codes in there, stored codes no. Saying no pending codes. Rather, it failed to communicate on that. If I go back to stored code, it says none. But when I try to ask for pending codes, it says it can't communicate. I'm going to step out of BMW software. Well, I'm going to step out of OBD2 software. I'm going to BMW. This is the European BMW. Nah, I'm not doing that. You have to go straight in. This series, this is the E46. It has a 1.8 liter engine, I believe. This one. It's misfiring terribly. You can see the relative movement between the scan tool and the steering wheel. I'm going to go straight into the engine control module. Trying to read codes. It says no codes. Live data, I want to look at the fuel trims and see if there is anything I can pick. Running values, let me see what that is about. select all. Okay. Is this a misfire counter? I don't know what these values mean exactly, but I'm trying to pick out one which looks different from the others. And it looks like cylinder 3 and particularly cylinder 3. I think this is some kind of compensation for misfires, just like it does for common diesel engine. Ideally, it should be very near zero, but on this vehicle, these figures are walking all over the place. But one thing I've noticed is that number 3 is negative, but it's in terms of amplitude, it's bigger than all the other. It's running a bit smooth now, but I'm still seeing all numbers are negative now. When it's running better, suddenly it seems to have improved. I was beginning to think this is cylinder specific, as in it could be injector or spark for 1 or 2 cylinders. It could still be, but now the engine is idling quite normally, and you can see the tachometer is stable now. This misfiring. I want to rule out things first. I want to go to the TPS first, because this vehicle is a drive-by-wire. It doesn't have a separate idle control valve. The throttle it does a job, the function of idle control valve at the same time. So I want to put a DS on it and try to get this vehicle to act up again and see if the TPS value changes. I rev it up a bit. Seems to respond fine. At higher RPMs, you can see these numbers go to 0. It's actually kind of acting up again, but at high RPMs, you can see these numbers are now 0. So I think this is some kind of misfire counter. When I take the foot off, you see this number. I've taken the foot off, and you can see these numbers. Some of them are positive, others are negative. Number 4 seems to, it's not playing in a very, very large range, but number 1 and 3, let me see 4. Four is not so bad either. 1 and 3 are kind of standing out from the others. They are doing opposite things, but one is positive, the other is negative, but in terms of amplitude, they kind of seem to be similar. As soon as I step on the throttle, even lightly, as soon as I step on the throttle, the misfire goes away, and these values go to 0. I've just taken the foot off the pedal. Immediately, the moment I take the foot off the pedal, these values begin walking around, and even the tachometer is playing around-ish a little bit. The moment I step even lightly on the throttle, something is going on. Just off idle, I get good RPM. The misfire disappears. And the weird stuff about having the check engine light, and as soon as I started playing with the scan to the check engine light vacated, and I didn't even find the code. That's very weird stuff. Very weird stuff. What was that about? Anyway, my plan for now is to have a look at this TPS value. What I want to see is when this vehicle is acting up, is the TPS value also fluctuating, because that would mean the throttle or the idle control valve is not stable. Right, I've pinned the DSO to the TPS, throttle position sensor, and this signal works kind of inverted. It's high with the foot of the pedal, and it goes lower when you depress the pedal. With the engine off, key on, engine off, I can show it to you here. Now I'm depressing the pedal slowly, and you can see the signal goes way down, and I'm now going to begin releasing it. See, it goes up, and I don't see any glitches or dropouts. I'm happy with the TPS. To me, it looks like the TPS is working fine. Now, for now, my suspicion is the reason why I'm pinned onto this now. I want the engine to run and see if it acts up. And when it is acting up, I want to see what is happening with the TPS. If the TPS is moving up and down, that would mean the throttle control motor is not good. See, pedal down all the way. I'm going to release it slowly. I don't see any glitch, dropouts. Start the engine. It is high now. See, it goes down. Okay, now all I have to do is sit and wait and see what happens when that misfire or hunting idle happens. Everything looks good. Idle still seems stable. You can see the tachometer is a bit stable, although it's a little bit lower than I thought it should. Yet, now there's nothing I can do now except sit and wait and see if this acts up again. To save on the length of this video, I may actually turn the recording off and come back when it begins acting up, because it may take a while. I think it may require the engine to warm up first. Right, I got tired of waiting for the TPS to act up. I think that was the wrong hunch at the time, but I just noticed that there's still weird stuff about the check engine light being on, and as soon as I turned the scan tool on, the check engine light went out, and I didn't find any codes. That's weird. Maybe because the engine control mod is in charge of turning that check engine light on, maybe it messed up on that one, or maybe the transistor for controlling that thing is either being commanded at the wrong time, or to leave the check engine light on, or it's faulty, the transistor is faulty. Anyway, I went into the engine control module. I decided to go and look for data, and you can see here and here, those are the fuel trims. This is a 4-cylinder engine, but I think it uses one oxygen sensor for each of 2 cylinders, probably 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, something like that. And they are wideband. You can see when you have data like equivalence ratio, O2 sensor, current, stuff like that. That means the front oxygen sensor, the upstream ones, are wideband. And I believe they are good because when I rev it up a bit, like I'm doing now, I see some changes in the current readings. I don't have a fault code for the oxygen sensors, and the equivalence ratio changes. It should be very near 1, indicating lambda. If it is above 1, if that figure, the equivalence ratio, is above 1, that means the fuel mixture is higher than lambda, and if it goes below 1, it means the fuel mixture is below lambda. That is, it's rich, and vice versa. Now, once we are satisfied with that those sensors are working, I'll need to do a conversion, I think, of camera for this pound per minute of air to be satisfied that the mass airflow is reading right. If I convert it into grams per second, I want to see something very near 1.8. If I get that, I'll be satisfied with it. But I'll bring your attention to the fuel trims. You see on bank 1 and bank 2, the short terms are positive. Bank 2 is more positive than bank 1, but they are all way positive, higher in magnitude than I would want. And when I'm going to step on the accelerator, it's off idle now. That's 1,500 now, and you see the figures are changing for the short term. We're already back to like normal, more like where I want them to be. And as it climbs and I have it very near 2,500, you see they even begin going negative. Now, that is a classic example of a reaction in fuel trims from the ECM when you have a leak in the intake manifold. I'm going to leave the team to take the manifold off and look for a leak. This is as far as I'm going to go with this. I can't dispute, just from the ECM data, I can't think of anything else that would make the fuel trims behave like they are now. They just went 0 and then back to like positive figures. When they go 0, it means the vehicle has just gone into open loop, and that happened temporarily, but you can now see they are back like normal, and you can see the idle is hanging a little bit high. Now that is weird stuff. I think I want to have a look at right now. I want to have a look at the oscilloscope, because I left it on the TPS, and see what's going on with the TPS signal. Now I don't have my foot on the gas pedal. I can see that. I hope you believe me now. But look, the tachometer is saying the RPM is hanging around 1250, 1300 thereabouts, and I want to see what's up with the TPS. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stab the throttle a bit, the accelerator pedal a bit, and see what happens with this signal here. It moved a bit. I'm using the wrong time base, so I have to change it to like 2 seconds, 0.2 seconds. I think that's enough. Now this to me confirms, I think the reason why I didn't get this reaction before, look, that's playing up, the idle is playing up, but the TPS signal remains constant. And the reason why it wasn't playing up before, when I was waiting for it with the oscilloscope on, this problem gets worse when it warms up. Usually intake manifold leaks are worse when the engine is cold, and they get better, they get sealed up as the engine warms up. Now this seems to be doing the opposite. Clearly the idle, the engine can't control the idle anymore. You can see that here, idle has gone way up, and it looks like the TPS is not moving. The TPS is actually being maintained in the same place. Okay. You see that is walking up and down. Tachometer is walking up and down. That was me revving it up. It calms down, then begins climbing up again. Oh, it is trying to stabilize now, but the TPS signal is not changing at all. That's me stabbing the accelerator pedal. I think the TPS and the throttle motor are working fine. Now it's beginning to shake a bit, all the while the TPS values are kind of stable, but this is walking all over the place. The idle engine is quite shaky right now. TPS seems to be stable. It's gone up a little bit, I think. Just a little bit. The reason why I keep stabbing the accelerator pedal is because I want to, if it is playing up, I want it to fail to come back to that position where the line is. Seems to be creeping up a bit. I think the TPS is closed just a little bit more than it was before, and we are seeing the RPM lower now. I swear it was higher before. There is something going on. There is a leak that comes and goes, but it comes mostly when the engine is hot. Have a look at the fuel trim data again. See, those numbers are high. This is the evidence that I have that points me towards an intake manifold leak. See, high RPM, rather high short-term fuel trims. Rev it up a bit. Revving it up a bit, up to 2000 something. See how they correct, and they even go negative at some point. That is 3000 RPM. Yeah, I think it's we have to look for this leak in the intake manifold first and find it. Is what is causing the fuel trim issues. I believe it is what is causing. See, I swear my foot is not on the accelerator pedal. See that? My foot is here, and that is the accelerator pedal here, and my foot is not on it. And look, those are two symptoms of I think the ECM is trying to compensate. It's trying to bring the RPM down by closing the throttle blade a bit. I think I've seen enough to call for the guys to look for an intake manifold leak. I'll probably end this video here because it's the end of the day. I'm not sure they are going to do this today for me to be able to come back and verify the fix. They will have to do that by themselves, but I'm going to show them this evidence. I'm calling a vacuum leak, intake manifold leak at this point.